In a breakaway region few recognize, millions have been spent on projects the world never noticed. Abkhazia's failed developments are not just forgotten, they were never even known. Let's uncover the truth behind these useless mega-projects that led nowhere. Abkhazia, nestled on the Black Sea coast, declared independence from Georgia in 1999, but only a handful of countries, including Russia, acknowledge it. Here, grand ambitions clash with harsh realities, stunning landscapes stand beside scars of war and neglect. What happens when a country tries to build a future the world refuses to recognize? My journey begins at Sukhumi Babushara Airport, once a bustling Soviet hub, now a silent relic. In its heyday, this airport connected Abkhazia to the USSR, welcoming waves of holidaymakers. The terminal, now hollow, was a symbol of Soviet modernity. The runway, over 3 kilometers long, is cracked and overgrown. Locals remember the pride and prosperity the airport brought. But the war of the 1990s changed everything. Fighting left bullet holes and shrapnel scars. After Abkhazia declared independence, the airport fell silent. Since then, officials have repeatedly promised revival, often with Russian backing. Each announcement sparks hope, but international recognition remains the obstacle. The International Civil Aviation Organization doesn't recognize the airport, so no major airline can fly here. Without recognition, investment is a gamble. Who would pour money into a facility with no future? Today a few private jets land, but the terminal is a time capsule. Faded signs, dusty counters, a baggage carousel frozen in time. The airport's closure chokes Abkhazia's potential, keeping it dependent on a single land border with Russia. An airport is a promise of connection. Its silence is a metaphor for Abkhazia's isolation. I met Aslan, a former employee now guarding the decay. "We used to watch planes come in. Now we just watch the clouds," he said. The airport is more than a failed project. It's a daily reminder of political reality. Its vast emptiness echoes with what was and what might have been. As I left, the setting sun cast long shadows across the runway. A beautiful, desolate scene capturing the strange, sad state of this forgotten land. Leaving the airport, I traveled to Gagra and Pitsunda, once the jewels of the Soviet Riviera. In Soviet times, these towns were the ultimate holiday destinations, lined with grand hotels and sanatoriums. Their architecture mixed Stalinist grandeur with bold modernism, built for collective leisure and state-sponsored health. Pitsunda's identical hotels and Gagra's ornate sanatoriums were self-contained worlds for Soviet vacationers. Archival footage shows packed beaches, lively promenades, and vibrant nightlife, a worker's paradise on the Black Sea. Tourism powered Abkhazia's economy, providing jobs and prosperity. Then the Soviet collapse and war with Georgia shattered this world. Tourists vanished. Resorts became shelters or battlegrounds. Today, many resorts are ruins, reclaimed by nature. Vines on columns, trees through roofs, empty pools filled with debris. Some sanatoriums have been partially revived for Russian tourists, but most remain derelict. The investment needed for restoration is colossal, and few are willing to risk it. I explored a famous ruin in Gagra, a shattered glass dome, moss-covered seats, a stage built for applause now silent. For locals, these ruins are personal. Alina, who runs a guest house, told me, "My mother was a doctor here, now it's just a place for ghosts." The ghost resorts are not just economic failures, they're cultural ones, reminders of a lost way of life. They stand as monuments to a dream that dissolved, echoing with memories of a future stolen by conflict. If the airport and resorts represent lost connections, the next project was meant to fix that, a modern highway to Russia. This flagship project, backed by Moscow, aimed to replace the old Soviet road with a multi-lane highway, boosting trade and travel. Construction began with fanfare and billions of rubles, promising a new era. But soon, corruption and embezzlement surfaced, and the mountainous terrain drove costs up. As Russia's priorities shifted and funding dried up, construction slowed and then stalled. Today, the road is a patchwork. Smooth new stretches abruptly end, dumping drivers onto crumbling old pavement. Half-finished bridges stand isolated, leading nowhere. Driving the route is a journey through broken promises. Moments of modernity highlight the surrounding decay. The incomplete highway hampers Abkhazia's economy, keeping travel slow and growth constrained. A truck driver summed it up. One minute you're in Europe, the next on a goat track. They started it, took the money, and left us with this mess. The broken road is the most telling of Abkhazia's failed projects, a post-independence dream, now a symbol of the limits of Russian patronage and the persistence of corruption. Why do these failures persist? The answer lies in geopolitics, not concrete. Every abandoned project is a symptom of Abkhazia's unrecognized status. After its war with Georgia, Abkhazia was isolated, cut off from international finance, trade, and legal frameworks. Russia filled the vacuum, recognizing Abkhazia in 2008 and funding projects like the highway. But reliance on a single patron brings its own problems. When Russia's focus shifts, funding dries up, leaving projects unfinished. This dependency erodes true sovereignty. Russian influence is felt everywhere, and prime assets are snapped up by Russian businesses. Without international recognition, no other investors will come. There's no legal protection, no insurance, no recourse. Abkhazia is off the map for global capitalism, inviting only those willing to navigate a high-risk, corrupt environment. The result is economic stagnation and visible decay. A young analyst told me, "We're building a country with one hand tied behind our back. We have the land, the people, the desire, but not the key that unlocks the world. That key is recognition." The crumbling airport, ghost resorts, and broken road are all symptoms of this political trap. Ultimately, Abkhazia's failed mega-projects are monuments to a dream of nationhood colliding with the hard wall of international politics. As I leave Abkhazia, I'm struck by the resilience of its people amid impossible odds. The abandoned mega-projects are not just monuments to waste, they're symbols of ambition that refuses to die. Their fate, and Abkhazia's, remains uncertain, dependent on decisions made far from here. For locals, all they can do is wait, hoping the world will one day notice them for more than their failures. Behind the headlines are real people, living complex lives in the shadow of forgotten dreams. Their stories are written in cracked runways and crumbling hotels. What other countries have wasted fortunes on useless mega-projects? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more strange stories from forgotten corners of the world.